Alright. Hello, everybody. This is Ursus.
And Diesel's back here. We're doing a deck profile.
Woo! Yeah, and this apparently on request because you guys like this. This is on my Yasuie Murakumo.
Alright.
Waiting for you to arrive again.
Alright.
So real quick, Murakumo. What kind of support have we seen from Murakumo? And I don't know.
Recently,
Yeah.
from at least the tech booster and the last set they've gotten support, they've actually gotten a bit powerful. Not exactly top tier, but they have at least grown a lot.
Okay, and in comparison to the old Yasui deck, did we see a lot of changes in the inner deck, or was it like one or two key changes that made?
As far as cards go, not many changes, but as far as the way the deck plays and its potency, there's been a pretty big difference.
All right, sweet. Start us off.
All right. So for starters, running Fugen. Don't really go through the entire name. So obviously Forerunner from the tech booster, Shadow Stitch, GB1. At the end of the battle that your attack missed and he boosted, you can move him to an open rearguard circle and stand him. Second skill, act rearguard circle. You can rest him. Choose a normal unit from your drop zone, put it at the bottom of your deck, and if it has the Shadow Stitch ability, you can choose one of your units and give it 3k.
Nice.
This is pretty much your best options for starters for most decks in this clan. With the utility in your G zone and how much you use cloning and open rearguard circles, he just pops around in the back row boosting things. He definitely fixes your clone problem of when you run out of targets, so you can send things back to drop zone. So, actually just overall really useful to the deck.
Sweet, yeah.
All right. Next, for grade 3s, running 4 Stealth Rogue of Revelation Yasuie, original Yasuie, GB2. When one of your rearguards is put into the deck due to one of your abilities, you can call it back.
Mm-hmm.
And then on strike, counterblast 1, search your deck for 2 copies of any rearguard, and they go back on the bottom in any order. You mostly run him because he does have Yasuie in the name, so you definitely always want to be riding a Yasuie with this deck at least. That, and he gives you a few really interesting plays with your clones, so yeah, pretty basic. After that, we have 4 of the new Stealth Rogue of the Trial Yasuie. This is the new grade 3 from set 10. First ability, Shadow Stitch. At the end of the battle that this unit attack misses, you can draw a card, choose a card from your hand, and put it at the bottom of your deck. Auto, and on strike, counterblast 1, you can choose any one of your units and search your deck for a copy of it. So yeah, counterblast 1, choose any unit, copy it. And it stays. So yeah.
And that's on strike?
Yes.
Okay.
This one's definitely a big difference than the older one, because 1, he can copy any unit, so including himself, so that solves the problem if your field gets wiped, or you just generally don't have any targets to clone anyway. And the second skill is that this unit does stay. Oh, right. On his on-stride skill, it also gives the Shadow Stitch ability that if that unit attack misses for that turn, you bounce it to hand. So, yeah, also important. So, 1 protects whatever you clone. Clone becomes permanent, and yeah, you can copy anything. So, it's a pretty secure on-stride ability. Make sure that you don't lose anything from your field. So, yeah. For grade 2s, we have 4 Stealth Rogue of Envy EQ, Skill is Shadow Stitch, GB1. At the end of the battle that he misses, you can choose one of your units, and it gets 2k, and this unit can attack from back row. And second skill, when this unit is placed on Vanguard circle, this unit gets plus 2k for each Yasuie that you have on field. New card from GBT10. I really like this guy. He really helpful, especially alongside of Yasuie, which we already had. One, he allows things to attack from back row, so works with this Yasuie to allow for more clone back row attacking. Really works really well with Gouma. And two, you don't really have to worry about him ever hitting the Vanguard unless they're like hitting gigantic power on your turn anyway, because he gets 2k for each Yasuie that you already have on field, which means if you're cloning your Yasuies, he gets 2k for each one starting, and that helps a lot, definitely, with Temno. So, yep, 4 of him. 4. Stealth Dragon Yasuie from the Tech Booster. Skill is GB1, Soul Blast 1. When he's placed on Rearguard Circle, he gets 2k. And the skill that Shadow Stitch, so when he misses Vanguard, you countercharge 1, you choose one of your units, and it gets 2k power. His second skill is if you have a Great 4 or greater Yasuie Vanguard, he can attack Vanguard from the back row. It is a little annoying that all of your back row attacks have to be on Vanguard, but it's a back row attack, it's helpful. 2, he's one of your counter chargers in the deck, so he's really important. Unfortunately, it is for Soul Blast, which is one of the more precious resources in the deck now. So, yep. But luckily, I've been trying this out, which I've been getting interesting results with, and that is 3 Pressured Stealth Rope, Sarashi Nehime. Alright, so he's from set 10. Shadow Stitch, at the end of the battle that this unit attacked the Vanguard, and it boosts. If the attack did not hit, Soul Charge 1. And, second skill is GB1. When this unit is placed on Rearguard Circle, choose one of your units that is stood, and you can have it get minus 5k power. If you do, she gets plus 5k power. One, like I said, Soul is a precious resource in the deck now, so the Shadow Stitch Soul Charge is really nice for her. 2, that Soul Charge works really well with your other Soul Charges, especially with Yasuie, so it makes sure you can continuously use him over and over again, considering he's one of your more important cards. And their second skill is kind of funny, I guess. You are minusing one of your own units to give her 5k power. Sometimes it helps. It gives you an extra attacker if you need it. Main interesting combo, I guess, is stacking a bunch of power. Well, stacking a bunch of minuses on Fugen from playing multiple copies of these, resting the Fugen to return a unit to drop zone, and passing out another 3k power somewhere else, making one of these a 16. Just kind of combo things. Just kind of resource management at this point.
Mm-hmm.
For great ones, first 4 perfects. Stealth Beast White Heron. This is the countercharging perfect art. Yeah, even though Soul's a bit more important, it's because of this in Yasuie that you don't really have to worry about counterblast as much, so yeah, definitely want to run these. Other one's not bad if you have it, but if you can run those. 4 Stride Fodder. Their Stride Fodder's even more helpful now that you have double Yasuie for your grade 3 lineup, so if you have one and you want the other, you just search it out, so. Next, 4 Stealth Dragon Onibiyashi. So, his skill is Shadow Stitch, GB1. At the end of the battle that this unit boosted and an attack on a Vanguard. If it did not hit, he gets the skill. You put him in Soul. When an attack does hit, you may pay the cost. If you do, you draw a card and you countercharge 1. And this is only if you have a Yasuie Vanguard, so. yeah, this is pretty much just your get it, clone it, try to get as much advantage as you can with him. He's really funny. He's one of those cards that just his wording throws off people. Definitely had a lot of games where it's like, hey, cool, I cloned him twice, and now I draw 3 cards and unflip 3 damage, so. Yeah, he's really good. Another resource management card. Because of all the back row attacks, you won't need as many boosters, but he's still super helpful. And 2. Stealth Rogue of Nirvana, Yaigaki. Skill is act rearguard once per turn, counter blast 1, soul blast 1. Choose one of your other units in the same column as this unit, search your deck for a copy of it, and at the end of the turn, you put this unit and the clone on the bottom of your deck. She's fine. She helps with early game. Honestly, the only reason I'm running this is because we don't have Tanba, the other promo that we haven't gotten. I guess she'll stay until we eventually get that card, but yeah.
So that pushes us through main deck, right?
Just triggers. Triggers, yeah. And then triggers pretty simple. It's kind of weird, I guess, compared to other people, but 4 Masamura, Yasuie's crit. 2 Cat Devil, Margot clone. Next 6 draw. Personally, I like 6 draw because of the combination with Trial Yasuie and Gouma, but it's me. Big hands. And 4 heals.
Because there's still no reason not to.
Yep. Need those G-guards.
Okay, so that's 664, is that right?
Yep.
Yeah.
664.
Okay. And you feel like the deck needs that draw consistency to...
Yeah. There's a lot you can do with it, especially when you get to the other cards in the G-Zone that I can explain.
Yeah.
So, I guess for G-Zone, starting off with G-Guards. 1, Dismal. You're still a rearguard-centric deck. It's nice to have this Dismal to protect your targets from awful effects like lock and retire. 2, Ambush Demon, Stealth Fiend, Hogan Wing. So when he's placed on Guardian Circle, you can choose one of your grade 1 or greater rearguards, search your deck for a copy of it, call it to Guardian Circle, and at the end gets the skill at the end of the battle when it's put from rearguard Guardian Circle to drop zone. You put it on the bottom of your deck instead. Yeah, this for 1 gets extra shield to guard with. 2, it also guarantees that you have a clone on the bottom of your deck of one of your rearguards. So it helps you set up for next turn. And yeah, it's a good thing to just drop when you're kind of insecure about how everything's gonna go after.
For sure.
Last. Ambush Demon Stealth Rogue Shishi Yuzuki. When she's placed on Guardian Circle during the battle that she was attacked by end of Vanguard specifically, you can choose one of your rearguards. You can send it to Guardian Circle. It gets 5k shield, and then you can look for a copy of it from deck and call it to Guardian Circle. Yeah, she's definitely there just to block those huge attacks. I see a lot of people running double Fugen just for this card mostly, which is actually a pretty good idea. But yeah, I actually don't see myself using her that often, so she's nice to just have as the one-off. As far as G units go, 1 set of Homer Raider. You honestly aren't using him as much. He is a restander, but he does take up a lot of resources, so it's nice to just have him there. So, yeah. 1, Kagamajishi. So when you call something, if you have something with the same name, it gets 2k and it can attack from back row. It's something that combos really well with Revelation Yasuie. if you're on him. Along with Trial Yasuie as well, since you copy any unit, including himself, which automatically gives you 1 back row attack. Yeah, it's kind of like a mini Tenma turn, I guess. 1 Onibibu Radar. This is outside of going into Gouma first. This is your first stride. He's definitely a really good setup card. Are we gonna be going through like combos and stuff after this, or should I just do it now?
I mean, I would just go ahead and talk about it right now.
Okay, that works. All right, so one personal thing I found about this card is combos really well with Onibiyashi. So what you can do is, let's say I have any attacker here. I stride into Onibibu. I call an Onibiyashi. I should probably explain what he does first. So when he hits Vanguard Circle, I can choose a card from my hand, call it to Rearguard Circle, it gets 2k, and can attack from back row. So what you do is you stride, you call Onibiyashi. Well, let's say I'm on Revelation Yasuie. I call this to Rearguard Circle. I use Revelation skill. Clone it twice. So now that I have a full field, I don't really have any space to use this, so I use Fugen skill, put a normal unit with Shadow Stitch on bottom, give this Onibiyashi 3k power, so now it's a 12k attacker. So first what I want to do is swing 7. So this isn't going to hit an 11k Vanguard, so then all 3 of these Onibiyashi skills proc. So for the rest of my turn, with this 12k attack, this 26k attack, and this 18k attack depending on triggers, if any of these hit, I get to use the skill, put it in soul, draw 3 cards, and countercharge 3. So my opponent will have to block the rest of my turn, or that happens. Which is really good, because it's just free advantage or just cards out of your opponent's hand. Especially, and that's all on first stride. Yeah, that's definitely a big combo with just this card, so. Let's go next. So, 2, Yasuie Tenma, definitely your biggest finisher in the deck. What he does is you flip a GB2, you flip a copy of him face up, and he gets the skill that you can counterblast 1 every time one of your units attack doesn't hit Vanguard. You can search your deck for a copy of it, call it to Rearguard Circle. What this means is, when you attack, you can swing. If it's blocked, you counterblast 1, call in a copy of it. And it's not once returned, so you do it again, and again, and again, and again, until you run out of counterblasts or copies of cards.
So how often does that lead to multiple attacks? Like, a lot of multiple attacks?
Honestly, on average, I think I get about 9 to 11 attacks a turn, but they're all usually pretty low number, like 11 to 15 depending. But I think the most I've ever gotten was like 15 attacks on his turn, which 1 destroys hands, and it does count your Vanguard, so you swing with him with your Vanguard. Obviously they have to block it if they're at 5, which is the only real time you want to use them. If he misses, you call a copy.
Right.
But yeah, it's definitely your biggest finisher, so it's a good thing to make sure that you actually have the clones and stuff, because for each attack you get, that's at least 1 card out of their hand. At least 2 for your Vanguard, unless they have a really good G Guardian. So. One Shibaraku Buster. Once per turn, GB2, counterblast 1, soul blast 2, discard a card. You choose a card from your drop zone, any card, put it back in deck. You call a copy of any one of your units, including a Vanguard. You call it, and it gets drive check. So for any grade 0, 1, or 2, that's 1 drive check. For any grade 3, that's 2. Twin drive. So, really helpful, really good for getting hand advantage and scaring your opponent into blocking things and proccing Shadow Stitch abilities. So yeah, that's kind of what he's there for. And finally, we have 4 Yasuie Gouma. His skill is act once return. You choose a face down copy of him and turn it face up. You can pay the cost. If you do, you choose any 2 Yasui's from your G zone and you can call them a rear guard circle. So if you stride him first, you flip a copy face up and you call it. When you go to use the second one, you can flip a copy face up, call 2. And just to mention, you do have 2 Yasui strides, so let's say it's face up. You can call 2. You can call a Tenma and a Gouma. So any Yasui in your G zone.
That's pretty awesome.
His second skill is at the end of the battle that any unit attacked a Vanguard and missed, so Shadow Stitch. You draw a card and put a card from your hand on the bottom of your deck. So same as Trial Yasui. These 2 effects are the reason I run so many draws. So 1, you go to drive check, and let's say you hit normal unit, let's say draw trigger, crit trigger. It missed. You get to draw a card and choose any card from your hand and put it on the bottom of your deck. So if you're missing clone targets, you put those back, but what I mostly end up doing is putting back my draw triggers. So next turn, when I start my turn again, I cycle them back through. I hit more draws, I put them back. I hit more draws, I put them back, and so on and so forth. Yeah, it's pretty much getting to the point where your entire deck triggers, so... Because with the permanent calls from your other strides and Trial Yasui, you thin pretty decently. But, yeah, that's pretty much the deck.
Okay, so downsides that you find while you're playing.
Hetero.
Yeah, definitely cards like Hetero Hound and...
The meta. Oh.
the meta. Definitely cards like Hetero Hound and Denial Griffin. But yeah, those are pretty harmful overall. Sometimes you can meme someone with a good Hetero Hound call, though. Other things, definitely Vanguard defensive triggers are any card that gives you power, that gives your opponent's Vanguard power on your turn. You're hitting with a lot of low power 11s, 12s, maybe 15s. And them going straight to 16, it really hurts. Even things, I guess, kind of like X-Caravo in D-Police.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Outside of that, you handle things pretty well. Being rushed isn't that awful, but it does hurt since you're not really an early game deck anyway. But outside of that, it's not too many problems.
Alright. Well, thank you for showing off the deck, guys. I hope you liked it. Enjoy it. Throw down a comment. Let us know what you want to see. And those of you who requested the deck, keep sending them.
Thanks.
Hey guys, Camille here! May 20th is coming up and people have been asking about the IYG stand-up series. So I brought a special guest to help me explain!
Hello, Camille.
Diesel, why are you talking like that?
This is the promo, right?
Tell him about the tournament.
The IYG stand-up series starts at 10 a.m. with a time to register for the tournament.
Beat the line by registering online. Singles will be at the event as well as other cool merchandise.
Each round will be best 2 games of 3 in Swiss format.
That means you're not out if you lose.
At the end of the day, there will be a cut to top 8, where best 2 of 3 continues in single elimination format.
At least half a case of Vanguard will be given across the top 8, not to mention another special prize. Will you be playing Diesel?
Sorry, I fight for my friends.
Oh geez. Join us at Yeti Gaming May 20th.
And if you can make it, locals May 19th at 6:30 p.m.
Stand up, Vanguard.